on Rwanda television. We believe that you had a good day. Let's kick off today's edition. President Paul Kagame has pointed out that stronger cooperation among African nations is key to achieving lasting peace and sustainable development. Africa Medical Supplier PLC has broken new ground on the Rwanda Stock Exchange, issuing a 5 billion Rwandan francs corporate bond, the first of its kind from the health sector. And on the international scene, the United States has doubled tariffs on many imports from India to 50%. My name is Olivnet, and it's always a pleasure to have you on board. Now let's kick off the news in details. President Paul Kagame believes that one of the key drivers that can help Africa achieve lasting peace and sustainable development is strengthened cooperation among African countries. This was reiterated after the signing of cooperation between Rwanda and Mozambique, which was witnessed by the both heads of state. Adam Sukizera has more on this.
Upon his arrival at Kigali International Airport, President Daniel Chapo, who is on working visit, was received by the Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, retired General James Kabarebe. Shortly after, he was welcomed by his Rwandan counterpart, President Paul Kagame, with honors accorded to the heads of state and government at Village Rugwiro. This was followed by tete-a-tete between the two heads of state. Thereafter, the heads of state met with their respective delegations and signed bilateral cooperation agreements in key areas including Investment and Export Promotion Agency of Mozambique, as well as the status of the Force Agreement on support to fight terrorism in Mozambique. President Paul Kagame noted that Rwanda and Mozambique share many common values and already enjoy various cooperation agreements, stressing that the priority now is to fully implement them.
The priority now is to effectively implement these frameworks and framework agreements. And that is what our teams will be focusing on. So far, good progress is being made. As you have just witnessed, we have renewed our cooperation in peace, security, and trade.
The President of Mozambique, Daniel Chapo, also emphasized that the time has come for the two countries to start reaping from the friendship and cooperation across different sectors.
We need to operationalize the cooperation between the two countries, as well as bilateral cooperation in the trade and the economy. So we need to work together in areas of security, agriculture, trade, industry and investment.
President Kagame further highlighted the importance of cooperation in the areas of security and counterterrorism, underscoring that partnership among Africans themselves could be the foundation of sustainable peace and security.
Violent extremism on our continent is a growing threat to our people and development. As Africans, we need to own and confront this problem as one continent. That is one of the best investments we can make in ourselves. Outsourcing the responsibility of external actors cannot build lasting peace nor development. Mr. President, Rwanda and Mozambique have a lot in common and to offer one another.
President Chapo expressed his deep gratitude to the Rwandan troops who played a critical role in fighting terrorists in Cabo Delgado.
and also to thank the people of Rwanda through the Rwandan forces who are helping our nation to combat terrorism in the province of Cabo Delgado. Once more, we would like to pay homage to the men and women of Rwanda who, alongside the Mozambican forces, have been fighting the terrorists, the enemies of peace, stability, development, and the well-being of the Mozambicans. Thanks to this cooperation, we can see peace returning back to the region, especially the province of Cabo Delgado.
During his two-day working visit, President Daniel Chapo also paid respects at the Kigali Genocide Memorial, honoring the victims of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi. Adams Kwizera, RwandaTV News.
Moving ahead, representatives from different African countries, part of the Transparency International Network Against Corruption and Injustice, are in Rwanda for a study visit known as the Chapter-to-Chapter Exchange. The program aims to learn from Rwanda's unique strategies in fighting corruption and injustice. William Evans has more on this.
Delegates from Ghana, Madagascar, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe are attending an exchange which brings together experts to discuss how to improve service delivery in key sectors such as health, education, and land management. According to Miali Sowa and Ramapianima from Madagascar, the three-day visit is an opportunity to gain new insights.
We are here for this week. We will talk about chapters learning exchange, about how to do better job when fighting against corruptions in two sectors, in three sectors: land, health, and education. We did see that your country are doing better than mine on securing the rights of people to have access to lands, but also to have the better services in hospital and also in school. And this is something that we will learn in my country because we do not have this level of transparency when talking about protecting the rights of people.
Bruce Gashema, who is coordinating the initiative, explained that the delegation will visit different institutions including hospitals and other service delivery points, working closely with government agencies. He also noted that in many of their home countries, there are still gaps in collaboration with government institutions. For Anne Rose Hirion, the Global Coordinator of Transparency International's Anti-Corruption and Justice Program, Rwanda offers valuable lessons since it has demonstrated commitment across all sectors in fighting corruption.
In Rwanda is incredibly strong. It's an incredibly strong part of our movement about the fight against corruption, both within Rwanda and then, of course, globally, regionally, etc. One of the things that's been very beautiful to watch, and particularly yesterday when we went to Musanze district, was their partnerships with local communities and the way that they work with local communities to fight corruption, fight injustice, and then, of course, help other people to hold their duty bearers to account.
The exchange coincides with the release of Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, CPI, on February 11, 2025, which assessed 188 countries worldwide. The report shows that Rwanda's score in the fight against corruption rose by 4 percentage points in 2024, moving from 53% in 2023 to 58% in 2024. This improvement placed Rwanda at 49th globally. Across Africa, Rwanda ranked third behind Seychelles with 72% and Cabo Verde with 62%. In the East African region, Rwanda took the lead, followed by Tanzania at 41%, Kenya 32%, Uganda 26%, the Democratic Republic of Congo at 20%, and Burundi at 17%. Rwanda has set an ambitious long-term target to completely eliminate corruption by 2050. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Evans. Now, Africa Medical Supplier PLC has broken new ground on the Rwanda Stock Exchange, issuing a 5 billion Rwandan francs corporate bond, the first of its kind from the health sector. The 5-year instrument positions the company to expand its footprint in the supply of medicines and medical equipment. William Evans once more.
These corporate bonds from Africa Medical Supplies PLC will yield an interest rate of 13.25% every 6 months, paid to the investors who initially subscribed, as well as to others who will purchase them once listed on the market. The CEO of Africa Medical Supplies PLC, Shema Fabrice, explained that the capital market has a lot of potential and opportunities that can bring in good returns to investors, and that the funds raised will help expand their operations.
I think the market presents there a lot of opportunity, which we can assure a good return to the investors, and on time, without delay. So we want to work closely with them. For us, we are sure 100% that the investment is well kept, and we are sure also the return as promised of this listing bond.
Isaac Munene, head of corporate finance at BK Capital, said their goal is to continue supporting small and medium-sized enterprises to access financing through Rwanda's capital market after BK Capital acted as a transaction advisor, enabling AMs to list these bonds on the capital market.
From BK Capital's perspective, this year we have done AMS, we did IFC. Very soon we've got an approval on Energy Cartel. So we are looking to do a lot more SMEs. We've realized that big corporates can get money easily. They can go to banks and negotiate rates, but SMEs in Rwanda sometimes get the hard rates from banks. So we are targeting a lot more SMEs, and you might get 3-4 before the year ends. Our target is maybe 10 a year. So I'm still short of my target here.
The CEO of Rwanda Stock Exchange, Pierre Celestin Rwabukumba, noted that having a health sector company listed on the exchange for the very first time shows that the market is open to everyone.
Yes, I think today's listing of Africa Medical Supplies PLC bond, corporate bond, it's a 5-year bond, is a big milestone for our market, because one, it's a new company in a new sector that is coming into the market, and it's coming from the Capital Market Investment Clinic. So we launched the clinic, now it's taking momentum. So it shows that to other companies, small and medium enterprises, and other corporates who wish to raise money in the market, the money is there, the investors are there, as long as your business makes sense and follows the rules. The rules basically go 3 ways. Number one, you have to have good corporate governance, you have to have good accountability and profitability, because everything that comes to the capital market must be profitable. This company is profitable, they are not selling shares, they just sold the bond so that they can get debt, alternative debt, as opposed to getting money from the banks. It's possible, it's being done, the money is there, investors are there, and the businesses that make sense will get the money. So I think it's very, very important for us and our economy to be doing this, to support the local economy by local investors. We also welcome international investors, but it shows that our own local investors can be able to do so. The particularity of this particular bond was that also retail investors invested in it in numbers, so institutional investors and the others have invested, but also retail investors. So we are seeing good signs. It's a good signal in the market. It's a good signal for everyone to see that the market actually is now up and functioning. People are used to government bonds, but they should also get to know that even other corporates can also issue debt or issue shares to the general public. So it's not only government that can borrow from the general public, but also corporates can borrow. It's not the first one. It's coming to one or to another. This year we've done almost like 4 bonds, I think.
The AIMS bond issuance achieved 100% subscription, showing a strong investor appetite. The initial breakdown of investors was retail investors at 7.8%, large investors at 36.0%, pension funds at 4%, unit trust investment at 42.0%, and insurance companies at 10.2% GFX. William Evans, RTV News.
With the tourism sector in the Musanze district, artisans in Kinigi are taking advantage of the approach of the Kwitizina ceremony for baby gorillas, turning the event into an opportunity to reach a larger number of customers. Iwachu Culture Conservation is a group of 12 young artisans who create art in the foothills of Bisoke and Sardinia volcanoes. They say the festival period offers significant opportunities because tourists coming to the volcanoes often visit their workshops before getting into waiting vehicles near nearby. Artisans across Kinigi expressed their excitement about this period, which allows them to reach a wide audience, particularly during the upcoming 20th edition of the Kwitizina ceremony. During this time, they focus on increasing both the quantity and quality of their works, producing pieces that are more appealing to buyers. Customers of these artworks say they value the chance to take home souvenirs that reflect the unique beauty of Rwandan art.
So we normally prepare ourselves during Kwitizina because we are always having more customers than other days. And most of our tourists, they always like the baskets, piece baskets, and even to show them how you make the baskets, how you weave them, even the products you are using, even the way how you mix the colors of the baskets.
I've seen a lot of baskets, and some of the ones in Kigali were very high quality, but these are equal or better than the ones I have seen before. And the fact that it helps women means everything to me. And to see the children working on the bracelets, that was my favorite part. They come with their parents, or their mother rather, and they keep busy by making bracelets that they can sell, even with my name on it. So everything is beautiful. I mean, the carving, the huge baskets, it's just all gorgeous.
To further support artisans with limited resources in Kinigi and surrounding areas, and to help them improve their craft and expand participation in this trade, a new center is being built through collaboration between Wildlife Foundation and the Rwanda Development Board and the Red Rocks Initiative. Currently, Kinigi hosts more than 6 cooperatives, groups, and organizations engaged in art across different areas. This craft has created jobs for over 400 people, including young people, women, men, and children who have grown up mastering the craft. To more news, the issue of financial institutions saying they have money to invest in agriculture while those in the agriculture sector say they cannot access these loans was discussed by the concerned parties, who concluded the talks with a commitment to close the gap. Nora Gladys unpacks.
Farmers and their partners on Tuesday discussed the challenges that hinder them from accessing agricultural financing. The chairperson of Rwanda Youth in Agribusiness Forum, Sakina Usengimana, highlights that accessing funds allocated to agriculture from financial institutions is not as easy as it is often presented.
Speak different language. So someone from financial banking understand balance sheet, understand cash flow, understand what's the profitability you have. For us, you understand what we are doing. The businesses, maybe we are not having good books, maybe we are having financial risk, because agribusiness currently is looked at risk, even though the government is putting so much effort so that it can smallholder farmers. So what we are looking for is how do we really understand each other, and then how can we create a bridge so that there's somewhere we can meet.
Currently, only 6% of all loans issued by financial institutions go into agriculture, while the target is to reach 10% by 2029. The country director of the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA, Jean-Paul Ndagijimana, says the meeting aimed at addressing the gap between financial institutions that say they have funds for agriculture and farmers who say they cannot access them.
We did a quick research. We talked with the Bankers Association, Hannington, the chairman, say, is there liquidity in Rwanda to lend to farmers? They say, yes, we have a lot. We talked to Development Bank, like Development Bank of Rwanda. Is there money for Mama? They say we have more than 3-4 instruments. And we talked to development partners. So we realized the issue is not availability of finance, is access to finance. That's why we want to really do everything possible to enable farmers, especially young farmers and small enterprise owners in agri-food system, to access finance. That's the main purpose.
By 2030, the MasterCard Foundation plans to have invested $200 million in agribusiness for 300,000 youth engaged in professional farming. Richard Buchana, the CEO of Horticulture in Reality Corporation Limited, a company that connects Rwandans trained in agriculture with Israel, says that this is a great opportunity for youth in agribusiness.
Meeting is aimed to show the opportunity with different partners that there is money for youth, there is money for youth to invest in agriculture, in the agri-food system. So I call upon my fellow youth to come and take advantage of this opportunity, make sure that they get money and that they invest in agriculture. So I call upon all the youth who have ideas, who have projects, to come and consult BRD and other institutions to get these finances and then invest in their dream project in agriculture.
The Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources, Dr. Mark Cyubahiro Bagabe, explains they are going to link financial institutions that have allocated funds for agriculture with farmers who need them.
You meet those who want money and they tell you there's no money to invest in agriculture. When you meet the banks, I've met most of the executives of the banks. Then they tell you, we don't know what's wrong with these people. There is money, but they're not taking it. I talked to BRD, I think I was telling you, they have got all these monies in SACCOs, micro finances, and different institutions in the banks. They all have these instruments to de-risk agriculture. And even I learned yesterday that access to finance even can provide guarantees at more than 70%. And yet, people tell you that in this, when they get matching grant to 50%, then they fail to get the collateral that the bank wants. What is missing, that bridge, I think, is information. So who is going to share this information? Let's work out together, march, and meet those who need this information.
Agriculture contributes 25% of the gross domestic product, while the country has set a target of achieving 6% growth by 2029. Enora Gladys, RTV News.
Now, the Rwanda Agriculture and Animal Resources Development Board has announced that in partnership with the Embassy of China in Rwanda, it is strengthening efforts to develop mushroom farming and provide farmers with modern cultivation knowledge. This was revealed during the conclusion of a training program for 50 farmers from the Sagara district who learned how to cultivate mushrooms on a small scale using prepared mushrooms beds. The farmers were trained over 2 days on techniques for small-scale mushroom farming using local grass substrates. After receiving 70 mushroom beds each, the participants committed to working together to cultivate mushrooms commercially. His Excellency Gao Wenshi, the Chinese ambassador to Rwanda, stated that China is committed to collaborating with the Rwandan government to develop mushroom farming as a means to combat malnutrition and improve livelihoods. Mushroom cultivation using advanced technology known as Jankao technology is expected to continue growing across the country. Florence Uwamahoro, Deputy Director General of the Rwanda Agriculture and Animal Resources Board in charge of agricultural development, said the program will continue to enhance farmers' skills and knowledge. Beyond the initial 50 farmers trained, the Chinese Embassy in Rwanda, together with the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources and the Rwanda Agriculture and Animal Resources Board at Rubona Station, has trained over 35,000 farmers nationwide and more than 70 cooperatives engaged in mushroom farming, and this initiative enables farmers to produce higher yields for both domestic and international markets. Now, some of the organizations working to promote the development of girls says that the high number of school dropouts caused by teenage pregnancies remains a serious challenge with lasting consequences for the lives of the girls, their families, and the country as a whole. The Ministry of Health acknowledges that the government has made significant efforts to address this issue, but stresses that parents still need to play a stronger role in protecting their children. So far, some teenage teenage girls themselves admit to having engaged in unprotected sexual activity without knowing that they could become pregnant, a problem they attribute to a lack of accurate information about sexual and reproductive health. While organizations advocating for girls' empowerment commend Rwanda's progress in promoting women's rights and increasing women's participation in the country's development, they warn that every year nearly 20,000 girls are at risk of dropping out of school due to unplanned pregnancies. They argue that this is a crisis requiring targeted solutions.
The country for already setting the bar very high for girls and young women's education. But what I would add on is more of a parent involvement. How do parents also engage in ensuring that girls' education is being intentional, not because the country has told you to take the girl to school? How are you being intentional? How are you being there for both your girl child and your boy child to ensure that we reach that gender equality goal we always talk about?
We not only recognize that this is needed, but also willing to invest money in it to ensure that it is going to be sustainable, because young people are going through a lot. Young people are the ones who, if they are not well supported, they will not have good results. So we need to make sure that we do the wise investment to ensure that young people have a good environment where they can not only get solidarity or maybe have a peer group where they get accurate information, but they can also become future leaders who are informed about their rights and are able to hold accountable duty bearers.
I thank the country.
Rwanda Biomedical Center highlights that the involvement of parents and families is critical in tackling this problem. Over the past 5 years, civil society organizations have been working alongside government to strengthen community-based support, and this has included the creation of peer support groups and the establishment of youth centers within health facilities designed to provide young people with essential information and services, including those related to sexual and reproductive health, to help them make informed choices for their future.